Hey, it's E.A. Coetting. I want to talk to you a little bit about Azazel. I'm going to tell you what his powers are, what his capabilities are, and what he can do for you, and teach you to make real, substantial change in your life. Now, if you like the work that I'm doing and you want to support my magic, you can do so by going to patreon.com/EACoetting now. I've evoked hundreds of spirits. When I come across a new spirit in a grimoire and I get curious about it, I just go ahead and perform an evocation. I call that spirit in front of me so I can talk to it about the things that I'm reading, so that it can teach me and guide me in the path working that I'm undertaking. If I have a concern arise in my life that I need magical intervention with, I flip through grimoires and find a spirit that's right for me. A spirit that will get the job done. So I'm constantly experimenting with spirits. But if I had to tell you the name of a single spirit that I'm closest to, that I would work with most frequently, if I were to tell you the name of a spirit that I consider to be one of the most important, I'd have to say the name Azazel. 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 I don't like to consider Azazel as a patron of mine, but that's really kind of what he is, isn't he? He's been with me throughout my entire magical career. As I first started really learning how to evoke spirits, he was one of the first that I called, and he was one of the first that came. Azazel is one of the original 4 gatekeepers, one of the first fallen angels or outcast watchers. Azazel reportedly was here long before man was here. Azazel stole fire from the gods. He stole the weapons and the tools of the gods and delivered them to man with full instructions on how to use them. He taught us warfare and how to make weapons. Azazel also taught us sorcery. He taught us how we can make these symbolic gestures, how we can use words of power, and how we can shift our mind state and watch the world shift around us. We have never come across any other creature on the physical world that can do the things that we can do. And according to just about every mythology out there, this is because of Azazel, because of his teachings. Now, while Azazel is very concerned about human ascent, human evolution, while stimulating this evolution is his primary goal, he does so through extremely practical means. He understands that all of this reality is an experiment. And we are both the test subjects as well as the observers of the test, of the experiment. And Azazel shows us how we can shift this reality at will, how we can make a bend to our desires. He also stimulates us to greater and greater heights of accomplishment. Now, I've already begun my work with Azazel as one of the 9 gatekeepers. I have approached his gate, and I am opening it. He's given me some very specific insight into what he's going to teach me. Azazel will teach egregor creation. So how to imagine an actual being, an entity, a spirit, and how to use ritual means to bring that spirit to life, to breathe life into it, to give it a purpose, a mission, to serve you. Azazel also teaches the mastery of evocation, going far beyond simply summoning spirits up, although he can make you an expert in how to summon spirits, how to produce an actual manifestation, a materialization of any spirit that you choose, and how to constrain that spirit to obey your will, if necessary. Azazel also teaches martial arts, mastery, as well as mastery over warfare. But he also teaches you how you can make astral or spiritual weapons. Weapons that you can use without being detected. Weapons that I can attest to are very potent in harming or sometimes even destroying your enemies. Azazel will also teach the art of deception on many, many levels. The way that you speak, how you appear, what words you're speaking and how you're speaking them, these are all very conscious factors in how people perceive you. Azazel teaches you how to take the concept of glamour rituals, of glamour spells, and of illusion spells, and he teaches you how to take them to the next level, where you can cast an illusion so real that anyone who sees it will believe it. In mastering this one teaching of Azazel's, you're going to learn how to see through Maya, or the great illusion of reality. Because if you become the master of illusions and the master of deception, then you yourself cannot be deceived. Azazel will teach self-transmogrification. And what this means is that he can teach you how to change yourself even at a physical level. This is also called shapeshifting, and it is terrifyingly real. Azazel is the possessing demon that cannot be exorcised. He can enter into the bodies of countless men or even beasts, and once he's taken possession of his victims, he has complete control over their bodies, their minds, some might even say their souls. Azazel does not keep this power for himself, but he's willing to share it. And the secrets to how to master this. What that means for you is that Azazel will teach you how to open yourself to possession by demons, by spirits, by any entity that you choose. How to open your body as a vessel for them to travel through and to enter into this world. Even more interesting is that he can teach you how to be the possessing demon, how to take possession and control over any person that you choose, how to leave your body and to jump into another person's body. Another power or ability that Azazel says he's willing to share is the creation of souls in what he calls a soul forge. I only have vague ideas of what this could possibly mean, but I do have an idea what the implications of soul creation could be. Now, this is different than the creation of a servitor or an egregor, which is basically just a spirit or an entity that you've created for a specific purpose. Instead, this is a soul that is autonomous and that is self-evolving. This means that once you've created it, you're not going to be able to hold on to it for very long. Instead, you have to set it free into the universe so that it can grow and evolve and become its own entity with its own will, its own desire, and its own destiny. It's said that if a being like this were to ever evolve to the point of physical materialization, physical birth into this realm of flesh and substance, that would be the greatest affront to the divine. The black magician will have placed himself as an equal to God, capable of creating not only objects and not only manifesting the things that we desire, but actually creating souls that then can become flesh. This is an insult to God. And so perhaps we need to create armies of such souls to populate the infernal empire as it spreads onto the shores of every world. Now, I'm excited to learn from Azazel. I'm excited to learn everything that he has to teach me. And these are some of the points that he's outlined for me, that in evoking and invoking him already, he's laid out some of these things that he'll be teaching me. But I'm certain that there's so much more that's going to surprise me. It's going to bowl me over. And it's going to change the way that I see everything. Because that's what Azazel does. He changes the way that you perceive reality. Just by coming in contact with him, you begin to see things from a wider view. You start to pierce more deeply with your vision into all things. You begin to understand the true power play that's going around you at all times. You find out how to inject yourself and your will into it. Azazel is known by the Judeo-Christian religions as being the devil. He himself was called Iblis, Shaitan. But the truth is, Azazel is the best friend humanity has ever had. He is the father of darkness. He is the great king of Saturn. He is the opener of the gates, the awakener of souls, and he is the liberator of the human race. And he is not here to save us. He is not here to free us. He is here to once again give us the tools that we need to win the war against tyranny and to turn the tides in our favor forever. Azazel's gate cracks open before me, and I tremble, but I still must enter, and I offer myself to him, to this great work, and to the ascent that comes pouring forth from his body into my soul. Go to blog.co/Azazel for more information.